Hello guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Football Heritage Podcast. I am here with Ori and Dan. Today we'll be going through various different topics. We're going to start off with the FA Cup final. And we'll be talking about whether trophies hold more weight than league positions during the season and more. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So the FA Cup final, obviously it was a good day for me as a United fan. Quite happy with that result. There was obviously a lot of pressure in the build-up regarding Eric Ten Hag and his position, whether he's going to be sacked, whether INEOS are going to keep him. But obviously, he put that all to the side during the match and managed to get us the result. So yeah, what did you guys think of the final one? What did you guys think of the Ten Hag situation?
You want to go first? Go ahead.
Okay, I thought it was pretty good performance from United actually. I think everyone is obviously always kind of focused on one type of way to play football, and I think there was Rodri who was making these comments that or Pep saying that they felt like they were the better team and stuff like that. But I think things like that are pretty irrelevant if you can't get the ball in the back of the net, which is fundamentally what football is about. So I thought United defended really well. Their shape was pretty good. City just seemed pretty lost. I think once they brought on Doku, he did come with some different ideas and some different solutions, but ultimately, I just think United definitely, they won that game in the first half, and I thought that they played pretty well, they countered pretty well, and I just think City probably a bit too drunk from celebrations from
Don't make excuses.
but then in terms of Ten Hag, I don't know, because obviously the argument is kind of he hasn't really had a full team or a full squad for most of the season, which is true. Another thing which is also true is that he should the performances they're putting up should not have happened irregardless of the teams that they were playing. I mean, they were conceding more shots than teams like Sheffield, Luton and stuff like that. Even with a redundant or a less full squad, that still shouldn't be happening. I would assume at least if you have some fundamental players in there, you should still be able to get a couple things done, even if you're not getting results your way. But just style of play, I think it was pretty poor for most of the season. Then I guess he got a couple players back for the final. Martinez, Varane, they were centre back pairing. I guess you could argue that he is able to get results probably with a fuller squad, but I don't know. I'm a bit just, I don't know. I think if, in my opinion, I'd probably say they should probably move on from him. But again, I guess if they give him an extra season, I guess couldn't hurt. I guess could kind of push them a bit back in development, depending on how it goes. But I think with new ownership, you probably would want, fresh manager, fresh ideas. But I don't know. I don't know what United are going to do or INEOS are going to do regarding that, but I think it'll be interesting to see.
I was also impressed with United. I thought, given the injuries that they've had over the season, obviously they've been unlucky and in some sort of sense, but that performance especially was really, really good. And it's kind of frustrating that it's from a Man United perspective, it's how come you can't perform like this more consistently? And you can't blame injuries totality as the sort of sole cause of that. So it's a bit frustrating, the lack of consistency, but just in the sense of you've just beat your rival in a cup final, you've won a trophy. Obviously there's a lot you can be very happy about that. That's something that you can look at and be that's a success. We stopped them from doing the double, we won a trophy, whatever. In terms of Ten Hag, the injuries definitely were a big factor of the season, and especially if you're trying to sort of build from the back and play football in a certain way, not having the right defenders to do that is a very sort of crippling problem to have. And with all due respect to him, someone like Johnny Evans and Casemiro at centre back, it's just not going to work. Man United effectively haven't had a left back all season. We've been playing Wan-Bissaka and Dalot out on the left, and even though Dalot I think has actually had a pretty decent season.
I think he's been our best player.
Yeah, I think he's had a pretty good season. He's you can't rely on him to play left back. It's not really fair. So if it were down to me, just because of the sort of injuries and as kind of shallow as it sounds, just because of the fact they've won the FA Cup, I'd give him the start of the next season. I'd give him another window, maybe bring in some reinforcements, because I did see he was mentioning that the squad depth is nowhere near good enough. And to that, I do agree. I don't think the squad depth is anywhere near good enough. So it'd be interesting to see, especially defensively, with some reinforcements. Like I know Brandfoy is one that Man United is looking at. I know Yoro is another one they're looking at. Like if them two were brought in just in terms of defensive depth, and maybe Lissandro used in a different position or whatever, I think it'd be interesting to see how Man United do. And I think they're players that, even if Ten Hag was sacked, can be used by the next regime. Like I think you can still have that continuity in terms of bringing in players that fit more than just Ten Hag's system. So I think it's worth giving him that. Also the fact that the managerial market right now is really quite poor, in my opinion. Like I see Hansi Flick is meant to go to Barcelona, and I think besides that I can't see any other like top level managers that are available. Like Chelsea have just got rid of Poch, and he's obviously got a quite good reputation, but I don't see that as a massive step up from Ten Hag. I don't think it's something that is worth sort of sacking a manager to bring another one in. Same with sort of the talk of Kieran McKenna, and I don't get that personally, just given the fact that, like, I'll use Vincent Kompany as an example. Like Vincent Kompany in the Championship got 100 points. Like obviously he tried to play a style of football, a style of a way that he was playing, sort of very attacking, and it didn't work in the Premier League. And even though he's been linked with the Bayern job, he's become a little bit of a laughing stock because of it. And I wouldn't say that Kieran McKenna has surpassed his accomplishments. So for him to be linked with the United job, especially given the fact that he wasn't liked by a lot of the fans previously, I don't think it's the right move personally. So it'll be interesting to see how Man United move forward, but I would take the FA Cup final as like a positive sort of sign and celebrate it for what it is.
Yeah, with the Ten Hag situation, I feel like personally I would keep him, just purely based on the cycle of Manchester United post Sir Alex Ferguson. So obviously you had David Moyes, sacked him. You had Van Gaal, similar situation after the FA Cup final we won, sacked him like 24 hours later. Mourinho, really and truly, even though the football was poor, I feel like he should have, in hindsight, should have got a little bit more time because of it was like player power. That's the reason why he got sacked, because obviously a lot of players didn't like him, and then you had Ole, Ragnick, and it's a cycle. You get a manager, keep him for 2 years, sack them, restart the process. So I feel like we need to actually, for once, be patient, because there's no point in sacking Ten Hag and then going for like a Kieran McKenna, because you're just restarting the process. I feel like a positive from this season is Ten Hag's been quite good with the youth. Like you see the rise of Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo, and I feel like that's something that we can progress with. Even like there's a couple players in the academy that look like good players that could be pushed into the starting lineup. So yeah, I wouldn't sack him personally. If they do sack him, I'll be disappointed, but I'll understand it in a sense as well. I wouldn't be completely outraged, because of some of the performances this season were abysmal. I think it was the 4-3 loss against Chelsea. Like my head went after that game. Like I actually couldn't believe it. It's a thing with Ten Hag this season. It's the game management as well. I know he said like he hasn't had his like starting centre backs and obviously a lot of injuries, but there's been a lot of times where like we're 3 goals up, or 2 goals up, or 1 goal up, and you just know that we're gonna concede and possibly lose the game. I feel like his in-game management was a bit poor this season, but overall I feel like he's a good coach. We saw that in the final against C. He had a very structured approach, very narrow, a lot of bodies in the midfield. And yeah, if he couldn't implement that style of play or just that tactical nous in a game-to-game basis in the Premier League, I feel like he can be better than what he was this season. Because we saw in his first season, he was a pretty good manager. He had a good season. So I feel like we just need to be patient with him. It's part of the process. You can't just keep on sacking managers and expect everything to be smooth, because it takes time. As we saw with you guys with Arteta. I know I've spoken to you guys and you don't like using Arteta as the example, because you say there's a style of play, like there was a clear style of play from the beginning with Arteta, and with Ten Hag it's not really there. But I feel like in this modern age of sacking managers, we need to just be patient with him. But obviously they want their guy, and it seems like McKenna is probably their guy. I think they'll probably sack Ten Hag and get in McKenna. But the thing about McKenna that a lot of people aren't really talking about is that he was at United, and reports came out that the players didn't like him. They didn't like his style of coaching. He's already been essentially sacked. Well, he didn't get sacked. Oli got sacked.
Part of the regime.
Yeah, and it was under Mourinho as well. So he's been under 2 failed regimes, and we want to go for that guy because of his promoted Ipswich. No disrespect to Ipswich and the Championship, but Man United's a different beast. It's a different animal. I feel like we need to maybe, if I was McKenna myself, I would go for the Brighton job, learn my trade in Brighton, and then progress, and then maybe a couple years down the line, go for a bigger job, maybe a Chelsea job or a United job. But hopping into the United job, I'm telling you now, if we get McKenna, I don't think he lasts 2 years. Like, it's going to be the same thing again. Maybe he might, because he's INEOS' guy, if they do hire him, so they might give him a bit more time than other managers. But I feel like it's a bit too early. We're kind of jumping the gun on McKenna. I feel like let him get to the Premier League, see what it's about, and then maybe in future, if Ten Hag doesn't work out next season, maybe you can go for a McKenna. But if they do sack Ten Hag, I personally prefer like a De Zerbi or a Poch or a Tuchel rather than a McKenna, because I feel like
established at top clubs.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, with the United situation, it's a sticky one. You could see on the owner's face, you could see on Sir Jim Ratcliffe's face, he was a bit, he's in a bit of a dilemma because he was probably expecting City to just completely steamroll us, and that didn't happen. And obviously the fans are behind Ten Hag now, so it's a dilemma for him and for the rest of the INEOS board. But I feel like there's a lot more stuff inside of Manchester United that needs to be dealt with, from the training ground to the stadium to the leaks on the roof. The manager's not the biggest issue at the moment. We don't even have a director of football. There's the whole Dan Ashworth saga with that going on. We don't even know what's happening with that. So, yeah, if I were them, I would keep him, I'd say till Christmas, then do a review after Christmas, then maybe switch managers. But yeah, we've talked about Manchester United enough, but talking about trophies and the FA Cup. I've seen a lot of talk around social media about having something to show for a season. So what do you guys value more in a season? Winning a trophy or overall style of play and points tallies? Like, what would you say is more important in season?
Yeah, this is a very interesting topic, and it keeps on being, circulated like every season or most seasons. But it's a pretty fair one, to be fair, because again, obviously there is the point where like nobody, remembers second place. Nobody remembers the seasons where you don't really, have anything to show for it. People remember winners, which is the truth. But at the same time, I feel like I'd rather be using the United trophy situation and our situation, I'd rather be in the position that we are now than be in United's position. And I think that's probably a fair thing to say. But in regards to actually winning trophies, because I remember the season when we won the FA Cup and we finished 8th. Yeah, I was happy that we won the FA Cup, and I won't deny that. Yeah, winning trophies, is an amazing feeling. But
can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
How did you feel better then when you won that trophy at the end of the season compared to now, or would you say that you feel better pushing City to the final day? Does that give you a better feeling than winning?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I don't know. Like I feel right now. I feel better about
the future.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, though.
I feel better about the future than I did then.
But it's dependent on winning trophies, though, isn't it?
Yes,
like,
but I feel better because I think we're going to win one. Like this season has kind of given me an indication that there is a very high chance that we'll win a Premier League title very, very soon. So it's more or less like, am I happy with an FA Cup? Am I happy with a very high probability of winning the Premier League soon? Probably the Premier League. I don't know. It's a bit of a tricky one, because I was very happy that we won the FA Cup that time. Especially, it really papered over a lot of the cracks, really, because we were very poor that season, and I think seasons after that we were still pretty poor after that. So I don't know. Like our future after that wasn't, it seemed a bit bleak, but I don't know. It's a very
tough one,
It depends where you go from there, though. Because I use Spurs as the example.
Yeah.
Spurs in the sort of mid 2010s under Pochettino, they were a really good team. I think one season they got 86, 87 points. Really pushed for title.
Yeah.
And it looked like they got to a Champions League final. It looked like they were really on the brink of winning something. And throughout that period, one season Arsenal challenged for the title, but by and large, you weren't that good as a team. We're kind of top 4, but we won the FA Cup three times.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, I definitely take our 3 FA Cups over their second, third.
No, for sure,
But,
yeah.
Same with like Arsenal in like 2007, 8, 9. Like, they played some really attractive football.
Football, yeah.
Good team. Like, really, I think in like 09 really pushed the title, but didn't win anything.
Boom, yeah.
So it's like it's really sort of dependent on what you win after. Because like Liverpool's a good example as well. Liverpool under Klopp. I remember before when they lost the Champions League to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I remember Klopp was called a bottle job.
Yeah.
Everyone said he was a serial bottler.
Yeah.
Everyone was getting onto them and saying, you've not won anything, you're a serial bottler. And then obviously they went on to win Champions League and the Premier League. So they would much rather, they weren't worried at all. I'm sure they're obviously upset that
but for sure,
they weren't worried as in like what position they were.
Yeah.
So it's really dependent. So
it's all about perspective, I say.
Absolutely.
It's all about perspective.
And I feel like the debate comes a lot from this because it's Arsenal fans and Man United fans.
Yeah,
it's funny because the positions are reversed. And like everyone's so tribal that like
it's the exact same thing.
Exactly.
Back then, Arsenal fans because
like,
United finished third that season.
But I'll be honest.
And,
can I say I feel better. Like there was a season when we finished second. I think we finished second. Was it twice?
Mourinho,
under Mourinho, and then there was a season we finished second under Ole. I think was it second or third. I can't remember.
I think it was third.
Yeah, it meant. I feel like there was a season.
There was a season that you beat Leicester to.
There was a season.
The
There was a COVID season where we finished.
But the season you finished second. You
No,
finished second with Mourinho, but there's a season that you
there was one with Oli.
Yeah, there was a
I
second
think you
with
finished
Oli.
second with Oli.
Yeah, because Liverpool had a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
I remember.
it was
And you finished like 5-6 points.
It was the COVID season.
Yeah, I remember.
We finished second.
Yeah.
But I would say that I feel better winning this FA Cup
than you did then.
The second.
But could you argue that back then it's because you didn't see?
Yeah,
like, even though you guys finished second,
you didn't foresee
on paper, but you
winning
didn't
the
see
league.
you didn't see like the future, like because they're second. Because they're second, and they're second.
Because
like you get what?
Okay,
you get what?
I
Like you can finish second and be like how many points off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or you can finish second, you can even be close, but you know that like like a lot of games you just kind of like so. But like there is like. And I know, like, yes, at the end of the day, second is second, true, like, you don't get any trophy or you don't get anything for second, but, I don't know, like, I like to think that, like, the future of, like, and let's be real, like, it all comes down to, like, the trophies in itself, like, all respect to, like, English football and everything, but, like, let's be real, like, nobody really gives that much of a shit. I think when it's all said and done, like you can win as many and the other the Carabao Cup, you can win as many as you want, and all good. You will get the plaudits for that. Like cool, you won the FA Cup, you won but when it gets down to it, and when people want to talk about, nobody calls those ones. People don't you don't get the recognition the same way that like for the Champions League and for the Premier League. And those are the two that I have been like wanted so badly, because like FA Cups, like we have the the most, and it doesn't faze me genuinely, like
like
genuinely, that too was so embarrassing. It genuinely doesn't faze me, like cool, win as many FA Cups. People are saying that next season we should try and like get one of the, because now people are feeling bad like we're not winning any trophies, but let's be real again, if we go next season and we just win the FA Cup, like
it's better than
it's better than nothing. But like I'm not going to be happy still. I'll actually feel the same way that I feel right now.
Isn't that progression on this season though? Because you actually have something. The key thing, the key argument is you've pushed Man City 2 seasons in a row. But it's the same argument with Liverpool even before they'd won. That you haven't got anything to show for it. When you think of this Arteta era, and you look back in history, say if you keep on pushing Man City to the final day of the season. At the end of the day, no one's going to think about the Arsenal side that was winning, that had the solid defence, that was barely conceding any goals, that was pushing Man City to the end. They're going to look at the trophies and be like, Arteta didn't win the Premier League.
It's literally Arsenal from like the late 2000s. Like, because Arsenal in the late 2000s played some beautiful football, like really good football, but just won nothing. It's like, that's why even though, like wrongly in my opinion, that era is considered the start of the Banter era. And like if Arsenal, no matter how good we are on the attack, we don't have anything to show for it. It's like Pochettino again on the Spurs. Like people will say, "Oh, they're a good team," but they laugh at them because they're like, "You didn't win anything."
You didn't win anything.
So even if it is the FA Cup, if next season we come second and we win the FA Cup, as ungrateful as it sounds, it will be an improvement. But it's still improvement. It's still
it wouldn't feel. It's kind of like it won't fill the void. It won't fill the void.
Yeah, I still want to look at it like we've had a great season.
Yeah.
Like if we come out of all the cups early, the domestic cups early. If we get if we lose in the group stage of the Champions League and we win the league, well, I will still look at that and be like, that's a very positive season.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because the Champions League, the Premier League, just means that much more than
the other.
It's just the
clubs,
consistency over the season, like, and the fact that you're like the best.
The best team in like going. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's a very.
It's harsh though, sore for you guys, because if the thing is that with this
metric in it.
Yeah, with this with Man City and this City Pep Guardiola era,
Yeah.
whoever finishes second, any other era in the Premier League, you're winning the league.
You're winning the league.
So that's the most frustrating thing about it, and I understand you guys' frustration because
Yeah.
you play such good football.
Yeah.
You're so solid in the back. Pause. But there's nothing to show for it. Like it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Do you think they induced that on other people though? Like Man City have set the standard so
Yeah,
high.
that's what I'm saying. Like now, now that is what you need. Like it's
that's
changed,
why
and
they're so good.
it's going to be like this now
From
moving on.
Until
Like
Pep goes.
no, even if
Even when he goes,
yeah,
I still think
they're
he'll
still
need,
gonna
like-
be good.
I still think they need like 90 points to win the league.
Yeah, the level's gone.
Yeah, the level has gone up, and I just think the best teams would just be so good that that would just be so there could be seasons where someone gets 90 and everybody else is pretty off, and maybe second place gets 8 in low 80s or early, but still I don't know, I feel like Pep has definitely given everybody a lot of PTSD, even if City were to have an off season next season, we would still want those 90. You can't take any risk. You need to go into a season and say every game you have to win. It's literally that every game you have to win.
You can literally be 10 points clear at Christmas and it
I'll
doesn't
still be
matter.
It's still be worried.
It's crazy.
You can
Arsenal could be 15 points clear, and I still wouldn't say we're going to the title. I'll still go let's see what they do. Let's see what they do in the running.
They've just set the standards too high. And everyone is okay, cool, Pep might leave soon and stuff like that. But I don't know why everyone acts like City are just gonna become very shit when Pep goes.
I don't think they'll be as good. They'll be good.
I think they wouldn't be as good, because Pep, but they're still there. They're still they're not good. They still have the money. They still have and
that's
they could even get they could get a decent appointment as well too.
It depends on that.
It does depend on that, but I don't know they would still be around, Everyone is acting like they're going to just fall badly off a cliff,
And it depends what happens with their charges as well.
That's true, yeah.
Because them, maybe Pep's seen what's going on.
He just wants to call his losses.
Because I remember last season he said he had no sort of intention to leave.
So he said he was going to manage
I will
the
be
championship.
here.
If we go down,
I will be
he
in
is
this
chat.
seat.
Wow.
No, but really,
we cannot replace him and then they go get Holland. This guy is a
I'll be
serial
in
liar.
this seat.
if you're Pep, you probably want to just stay, because
Yeah.
he could just outdo every single thing that even Ferguson did.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that type of manager though. If he's in mid-table, if he doesn't have players that can play to his style, I don't think he'd be very good. Because there's managers that obviously have different. Sam Allardyce is a good example. He's great at the bottom of the table, but if you give him the best players, I don't think he's really going to be able to perform. Whereas Pep Guardiola is inverse. With the best players, he makes them teams.
And he completely deconstructs the core of that player and what they are.
And
reprograms them. You've seen it with Grealish.
And Haaland.
You've seen it with so many players who just completely take away everything about your game. And reprogram you to do what he does in his system. Because City's it's a machine. Everyone's a cog in the machine.
It's so highly structured.
Yeah, that brings us to the next point. What can we do? What as a league can we do to stop these guys?
Get the lawyers out.
What can we actually do?
So, the thing is, we've seen them, be better than this. We've seen them get 100 points, 97, 100 points, 98. They've gotten 90 points in 4 seasons now, over 90 points in 4 seasons now, or even 5 maybe. But it's kind of you just need to be better in every sense that you can. Liverpool, the season when Liverpool got 97 points and then City got 98. That's just
that's
just insane.
That's actually
Liverpool lost. I think Liverpool lost 1 game that season. They could have gone invincibles.
To City, yeah.
They could have gone invincibles and not won the league.
God, that's
I have a theory. I don't know, question or a theory.
Yeah.
I feel like whoever's in second,
Yeah.
I feel like they need the rest of the league to step up.
They do, I think.
Because realistically, you guys took how many points? Was it 4 points from them?
Yeah, we took 4 points.
You took
We
taking
didn't
4
lose to any of the big 6.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not losing to any of the big 6 and taking 4 points off of your rivals.
Yeah.
That should normally be enough.
Yeah.
True. True.
Is there a point where we have to start looking at the rest of the league and saying you guys need to stop rolling over?
I don't think
Like you
it's
said
it wasn't the
before.
Big Six's problem. Like I think City got the least points or something off the Big Six.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Big Six teams actually like turned up to play Man City,
Yeah.
and even Spurs. Spurs actually turned up.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
tried
Spurs,
to
Spurs,
win.
yeah,
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 Spurs,
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 oh,
Spurs,
man.
They actually like
Feel
turned up and they tried to win.
like you do
It's
have
like
to.
it's the crap teams with all due respect to them. Like
Yeah.
the teams like, not even crap teams. It's the other teams in the league. The teams like Brighton, the teams like Villa, the teams like even Newcastle, the teams like and then at the bottom of the table like Forest.
Yeah.
I think they turn up with that like inferiority complex of
yeah.
like we're not expected to win here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see what we get. We'll
Yeah.
chance our arm. Whereas like when they go to Old Trafford or they go to the Emirates or they go to
Yeah,
Stamford
yeah.
Bridge, they think we can get something from
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
let's see what we can do, and they'll give it a go. Like Villa's the best example in the running. We played Villa, I think 3 or 4 weeks after Man City, and the team that they put out against Man City was a disgrace. It was like a Europa team, and then they come to the Emirates and they played a full strength team.
Yeah.
And obviously they took the 3 points that they deserved.
Emirates just hates you, lot.
No,
Yeah, but I mean, Villa beat
They were so
City.
good.
They beat
Yeah.
City in the first leg.
yeah, exactly.
They-
That's why I
in
don't
the-
understand why they turned up and didn't like think we can win.
We can beat
Maybe it
City
was the
and-
Europa League or Europa Conference League that they were
or something like that. That was
But like
yeah.
even then,
I don't know, but I don't know. City are also just so good. Like for example, Newcastle away. We lost to Newcastle away.
Yeah.
They played Newcastle away, and I remember Newcastle played really well in that game, and they were leading until I think De Bruyne came on.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah,
back
I
from-
remember
he was
it was
back
back from
from
injury.
Oscar Bob scored.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and he just like KDB. I think he scored and he assisted and he just
Yeah.
So again, there is also that like inevitable. Like they have those guys who are also like
It's the mentality as well. That's the thing.
like mentality is just like like someone who like you're down. And yeah, we've had those moments this season where like we're down and somebody comes up and scores a win and stuff. But I don't know. I just don't know. It's
I feel like with the 3 teams that got promoted into the league as well, a lot
Yeah.
of them tried to play their own football.
a lot.
Because traditionally, when
Yeah.
the bottom 3, they'll just lock up
Yeah.
and they'll play
Yeah.
defensive compact long balls over the top.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing teams get promoted to the Premier League and try to play their style of football and make
Yeah.
it work in the league.
Yeah.
Do you feel like now with the 3 that have come back up, they're of a higher quality, they can maybe pinch some points off the City?
Oh,
Southampton,
Yeah.
I don't know. Southampton, I wasn't impressed with them. Like I saw, they weren't their point style wasn't that impressive in the league. The other 2, like Ipswich, just the style that they play, they can't play the same way.
They're not even. They're
They
probably not
can't.
gonna have that manager.
Nah,
even,
they
so-
can't play. Like I saw that obviously they pass it out from the back and they play sort of expensive football. There's no way you can play that in the Premier League the same way. You'll get
Yeah.
thrown off the park.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Leicester, it'd be interesting because I don't think they'll have their manager either. I think Enzo Maresca is meant to go to Chelsea. So I'm not really. I don't like their chances. I'll put it like
Yeah.
that. Like, I don't like the promoted team. And unfortunately, I think the gap between the Championship and the Premier League is getting bigger.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like I
It
think
is, for
no matter
sure,
who gets promoted, I don't think you're
Yeah.
sort of safe. I think you just need bad Premier League teams
Yeah,
essentially for it to save you. I don't think you're gonna be good enough to hang.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's just, it seems like the teams in the league are just like getting too used to like they're getting. It's kind of like to play in the Premier League. Like the more experience you have is just like better in every sense. So like one season that you spend not in the Premier League is like you're already like behind everyone else because everyone else now has already raised their standards. Because like we have to think like every season like we may not see because the seasons are is such a marginal, but like every season the level of football is definitely getting better because there's so much research and all of that stuff going into like people are just getting better. There so much that's put into coaching and all of that stuff. So that gap between like club like Sheffield were in the league like Sheffield came 7th in 2020.
Yeah.
And Chris Wilder,
They're coming last like
And
like
then a year later they came
and they
out.
came
I feel like Sheffield when they came up, they knew they were going down.
they just I don't know they
So
just
did Burnley as well.
Yeah.
I saw you
like
see Jason Watt,
Luton put up a good fight.
Yeah,
though,
when he
so-
was listening to football.
on the overlap that JJ Watt was talking as if like they knew they were gonna go that like they were talking about like a long term
Yeah.
continuity plan. So like I think they knew they were.
Yeah, they were just
But it's also like a financial thing as well.
That's true.
Because like if you stay in the league, you get that like £100 million
Yeah.
that you can build your squad with. Whereas if you get relegated,
yeah.
you need to get rid of a lot of the core parts of your squad. Then try and
Then
rebuild
try and
back.
rebuild
And then
back.
when you go back, everyone else is built.
I was
on
already
what
built
they
up on
have.
top
It's
of
like
that, so you're
you're
already like
free
playing
steps back.
you're playing like a backwards game. Yeah, Luton were pretty. I think Luton put up a good fight. Yeah.
At home especially though.
Yeah,
Luton were
yeah.
tough
No,
to go
Luton
to.
were we struggled
played
against
so well
Luton at
against
home,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone did. I think
Yeah.
City, Liverpool, and Arsenal all needed their last minute winner.
Yeah, everybody, yeah. Liverpool drew. Liverpool
And
drew.
they should have lost that
They
game.
should, yeah.
So should we, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, they put up pretty good performances. I think like everybody kind of like thought they were gonna come last.
Yeah.
I mean, some people think
I thought they were
they're
gonna
not gonna
stay
win a
up.
game. Yeah,
It's
I
definitely
thought they were
ignorant
gonna
from-
stay
from
up,
me
but
as well.
I was just trying to be edgy. I'll be real. I said they were gonna stay up, but yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, like what the reason why they were, I mean, Nottingham Forest where they had like a point deduction.
Yeah.
So to be
They
fair,
weren't great though. Like Nottingham Forest were in danger.
yeah.
Them and to be fair, Everton were only in danger because of the point deduction.
That's true.
I think through like some stretch of the season,
Yeah.
Everton were actually pretty.
Oh
good.
yeah, no, they were. I mean, they had like what 8-point deduction at the end of it. Oh,
Yeah.
So like that's pretty crazy. Yeah, like it's very impressive that they managed to stay up like even with that. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with Sean Dyche.
Because
Because like he's, in my opinion, he's actually a top manager.
I think everyone knows. I've loved Dyche
Yeah,
for like
you've been a big
yeah.
he's
I
got
think
both
he's
of you been a big
I mean, he finished 7th with Burnley. Like
That's a ridiculous
that
achievement,
is-
man. I don't think like people think how insane that is. Especially like when you look at the squad in
the
retrospect,
squad that
it's like
seven.
Goodmanson,
That's European football.
Sam
Sam
Vokes,
Vokes,
like, Ashley Barnes.
But
Like this is
that's
crap.
European football with Burnley. Like what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Quality.
Honestly,
Like a position from the top 6, like with what? That is just ridiculous.
Nah, he was-
And I think the teams that came top 6 were the big 6. That's
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
just finished like just
And I
below.
think Arsenal came sixth as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
I think we were only like 4 points
or
above.
something.
It was like this is Burnley under Sean Dyche.
Yeah,
But it's
exactly,
champagne football.
They sacked him, and then what's it called? Now you've got company going Bayern and stuff like that. The football is weird now. It's so
I think
weird.
like a lot of teams just want like young like coaches.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
I think,
they
like,
want to be ahead of the
Can we talk about that? The
yeah.
whole manager
I
merry-go-round
think,
thing
like,
and the
yeah.
whole preparing for the
Yeah.
future.
I think, like,
trying to
Chelsea-
scout a manager.
I think like Chelsea even said that in like who they were like targeting. They wanted like a young manager. Like
Yeah.
that's what it was, like yeah, people just want that. I don't know. They want that next. Like I think it's the wave of the Arteta Xabi Alonso.
Exactly. The
Um,
hipster.
yeah.
Become when they've just retired from football.
Or
Yeah,
who's
man,
that-
it's
Someone's gonna hire Fabregas
come
soon.
with this fresh ideas.
Someone-
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
masterclass.
Someone's hiring
Yeah,
Cesc
yeah.
Fabregas, and he's gonna lose.
Even
5
Van
million.
Persie. Van Persie too has been Van Persie. has
Even
been-
Van Nistelrooy,
as
So
well.
yeah, Van Nistelrooy, yeah.
Yeah,
People want like there's fresh ideas, you know, because like the manager market is just it's
it is a
going
bit stale.
yeah. See, people see like that generation as like gone, which is like
Yeah.
the
I think it's
Klopps
fair.
and the that era of like coaches. I mean, Mourinho is even available.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and I'm like, I think Mourinho's got 1 trophy in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
It's like for this serial winner.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
one-
washed though. He is washed though.
Yeah, but international.
I still love Mourinho. I'll never hit Mourinho. They can never make me.
Yeah,
How do you get washed as a manager? Like, does the football just like go?
Football
like,
just evolves
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
You
fast,
can't-
yeah,
You can't be that pragmatic
Your
and that
core
defensive
pillars.
in your philosophy.
yeah,
Especially with the young guys around, like,
that's true.
and the way they're evolving and
and like the tactics and stuff they're using.
Yeah, you have to kind of keep. That's why you have to give respect to Pep. Like
For
he's
real.
complete. He's refreshed his
Yeah,
approach.
yeah.
Pep has been about for time. Like even
Yeah, literally.
when I was watching the FA Cup final, like it was him and Sir Alex like shaking hands. Like they went head to head.
Yeah.
So
And he's
many-
still here. He's still
Exactly.
We're still talking about him as
Not
the
even
best.
still here,
The
he's
best.
the number
He's the
one.
number one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Undisputed.
He's been the number one since he
Yeah.
became a manager. He's been the best.
And the thing I rate so much about him is he takes the best things from other people as well.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
So like when he went
Even
out to
the
Germany,
Zerbi,
even like his old Barcelona team was quite slow tempo, especially in the build up.
Yeah.
And then they would start like explode, bang. And they didn't really press too high. They were just kind of like. Then when he went out to Germany,
Yeah.
you saw the high pressing and brought that in, and saw obviously with Kimmich,
Yeah.
and started bringing him into the midfield,
Yeah.
the fullback.
Yeah.
And I just rate how he's adapted to different, even the Premier League as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like
no.
the level of intensity and the players
Yeah.
he buys
Yeah.
now are so different to the players
For
he
sure,
bought,
right?
like-
But then, yeah. Like he's adapted like pretty well. I'll say he's, and like he definitely takes he takes ideas too like from people and stuff like, and you can tell he's someone who's pretty open. Like you can tell he's someone who's just obsessed with football. You know? Someone who just wants to.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, someone who just wants to.
He's
like,
a weirdo.
someone who
Galaxy
wants to
brain
just like
Satan.
someone who just wants to learn, someone who just wants to like improve. I remember there was this article where like I think it said like was it Arteta or Pep was talking about it that like when Pep was in Barcelona he used to like call up like I think he called up Arteta once, then he called up like I think Robin once or something like that. He was on like the phone with them till like 2 a.m. just like talking about like how am I gonna like beat I think he was
I
playing
think
like
it was
a team,
Chelsea.
Chelsea or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, how what ideas do they have and stuff like that. He just wants to know. Yeah, he is pretty.
That's what the overthinker thing came from.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah,
'Cause he
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
did like think too hard.
Too hard, yeah.
Like he tried to mitigate all the
Oh
threats,
yeah.
and then eventually
Yeah.
sort of ignored the obvious.
Yeah,
So to
yeah.
speak, which is easy to say from
Yeah.
like a retrospect, but
Yeah.
like.
But like it's when people around you, because like if Pep didn't have Klopp, like yeah, he wasn't going to go like that. He would have won these titles, but not to the level, not to these 100 points, 97. Yeah, he wouldn't be doing that without Klopp. Like he saw the standards and like he had to get there, which is why in a way like Pep is also making Arteta a better coach. Like very much, because like if Pep was in Arteta because he won the league title this season or last season ago, get comfortable. You only need like slightly above 80 points and you're good. Yeah, like you don't need to like. But now Arteta is thinking, how do I get the team to like 90 plus points? How do I like? And if he gets to 90 points again and we don't win it, it's like shit. You now become I don't know. To me, like. At that point, it's probably driving you like insane. You now have to start thinking about things that are so niche. Like last season, we conceded 40 goals, over 40 goals. This season, we conceded 20 something. Next season, it's probably thinking like we need to concede less than 20. We need to score we need to score more goals. We need to like and you get to the point where like
it's not. There's not even that much you can do. It's just.
It's not just like things that are so marginal. That
But definitely from Arsenal's perspective, the mentality changed from the last 2 seasons.
For sure,
Not last season, the season before. We're definitely more focused on our attacking output.
Yes.
How can we score?
How can we score?
How can we control games?
And
then this season, you definitely saw that let's mitigate risk as much as possible.
Yeah.
And like our attacking numbers dropped a lot.
Yeah.
Like you see, like Martinelli, I think got like 5 goals.
Yeah.
And Jesus got like 3 or 4. I mean, Havertz had a decent end to the season, but for a long period. I think he got 13, which still isn't a great output. The only real attacking player that really had a great output was Saka. Everyone else had kind of poor, but the defenders had great output. Like you saw Raya run Golden Glove.
Based on like not really even doing anything because like, the defense was just
the amount of shots we conceded was like ridiculously low.
I know there was that phase I think where we played Liverpool at home and then I think West Ham and then like but like
it was
we went like a stretch of games where we only considered maybe like 3 shots on target
and we scored like 15 or 16 goals. And that was like over the course of a month, 2 months. And that was really sort of at that point I was like, do you know what, we could do it, and just knowing that, especially at that point I was looking at City and I was like, they don't look that like they're winning, but they're not looking great. Like especially that Newcastle game. Where I was like, Newcastle were really playing you off the park. And you won, but it's not a good.
But not like I thought Liverpool did. I thought City did look a bit off last season. I thought like, but the thing is like you always have to
demoralizing.
You always have to factor in their run to the end of the season. Like they didn't lose a game. They haven't lost a game this year in the league. They pretty much won everyone and they drew points to us and Liverpool. Pretty much that was it. And they won the league. Like pretty much like we did pretty much the same thing, but we dropped points to them and we lost to Villa. They
didn't even get lucky with injuries either. Like De Bruyne was out for a long period.
Hazard was out too.
Haaland was out for the only player that wasn't really out was Rodri.
Yeah, that's true.
But because their squad size is so big, it doesn't really matter.
Literally.
That's the thing.
Haaland's the one golden boot though, which is crazy.
Like he had a
poor season. But then again, if Kane was still in the league, he would have took it.
Probably.
How many goals did Haaland get? Was it 23, 24?
Yeah, Kane would definitely.
27.
Oh damn.
For a poor season,
he was 30 goal season.
Yeah,
and that was an off season for him. Last season he had like 36 or something. Like that's in 2 seasons he has like what now, like
50 something.
So if it's
probably 60.
But in terms of signings, what can the big 6 do each to improve? Like we'll start with Arsenal obviously, because a lot of fans have said you're a couple signings away from it. Some people have said you need a goal scorer. Some people are saying you don't need a goal scorer. It doesn't really make a difference. Some people say you need more squad depth. So what do you guys think that if you could give 2 signings position wise, and maybe you can give names if you want to, of what could like push you to that title? What do you?
So I have probably an unpopular opinion about Arsenal. I don't think there's a striker on the market or a sort of attacking player on the market that's the player that we need to really take us to that next level. Because not even realistically, but like ideally, for me, it would be someone like a Rafael or a Rashford. And I mean, supposedly Rashford's not sort of on good terms with Man United, but I just don't see them selling to Arsenal. I don't see it.
We won't sell 1 and 2. He's on 300 and something K a week. He's just signed a new contract.
He just wouldn't sell like to Arsenal.
Yeah, because we saw what happened with Welbeck. It came back to back.
It's not a reality.
That was Welbeck.
Yeah.
So imagine Rashford.
For me, I think you need to perfect the rest of the squad. So then, when that player becomes available, you can put all your assets to you. And for me, that's midfield and a defensive cover.
Yeah.
Like I think midfield we really need to look for a sort of superstar progressive person. Because I think Rice is quality.
Yeah.
But you see, and he's not even really been playing his best, but you see it when Partey plays that the vertical.
Isn't it?
I think he's going.
Yeah, it's gone.
He should.
Yeah, no, Party is going. Yeah, but no, I agree
It's
with
just
that.
so
I agree with that. Yeah, which is why like
For me, it's
I've always had like a
De
lot
Jong,
of like
Kimmich,
yeah.
I saw João Neves
Yeah.
is linked.
That's
That's
a good
Yeah.
That's them three players I really look at and be like, they're the players that we need to look at. in the
Yeah.
midfield anyway.
Yeah.
And then defensive cover is just someone who can maybe give Saliba a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
So like I saw Diamonde was linked. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think that'd be a good signing. Like even a Gay, someone like that. I think.
Gay's gonna cost a lot though if you want to buy him.
Definitely, yeah.
60,
Yeah.
70.
Yeah, I heard 60 mil for him.
Yeah, man, that's.
But yeah, no, like I'd say like once it gets to a point where like you're good, you know, you go to the point where like your whole team is pretty good and you come pretty close. I don't know, it gets very tricky because I was thinking the season when Liverpool got 97 and they hadn't won the league at all yet at that point. I think like they only signed maybe one
I
player.
think it was Jota. They signed.
Jota, yeah, it was something like they signed like a pretty random player and the next season they won because like they're already pretty good. And to be fair, I don't think we are on that Liverpool's level yet. I think we're just still a tier below. Like I think there is something that we need to take us to that. Like and yeah, I don't know. I like the one like we need that like forward who's kind of like marquee in a way where like they. And like someone like Rashford, Leao, those are good suggestions. I say those are like explosive players who like putting them in that squad.
You guys have mentioned
just,
what? So you're saying the left wing position is where you would improve?
I would say so.
I would
I
just
I just don't think there's strikers available.
Like, no, but I know
that's
Osman's
what I
the
don't think he's
plan.
realistic. Like I don't think and his injury record is worrying, man.
Like I wouldn't really like. To me, I just want like someone like I wouldn't. Whether it's striker, I just want someone who can be in that front three, who can just be
25 goals a season.
who can just be explosive.
Yeah.
Like for instance, now obviously he's not coming to Arsenal, but someone like Mbappe's not a striker, But like if we put Mbappe in left wing, would win the league next season. Like I would definitely put like a lot of money on that, So like just someone who can come in and Rashford and Leao, they're not Mbappe, but they are very, very good and they are very explosive wingers, who can get a lot of goals, So. And I think with the whole striker thing, it's just a bit... Because, for instance now, like, if we don't sign a striker and we signed Rashford, for example, and we had Rashford, even Havertz in a strike position, and Saka, that's a very impressive front three for me, That's a very impressive
even
front
you
three
move Martinelli to
then you can now play around with... We now have Trossard, we have Martinelli, we have, depth options, and there's Mr. Jesus, who potentially, we hope he has a better season, but then you now have a good depth, you can field, we should be able to field 3 good front threes, pretty much,
Because the City can do that.
Because City can do that very comfortably, So we need to be able to field, good, and then then midfielder too. I agree with what you said in terms of like I've always had the thing with Partey. I've always had like a bit of like because I do like him as a player, but he does have those like very
he's a turnover machine.
Yeah.
High risk, high reward.
Literally that, So like there are certain moments where like I think it was a Chelsea game where we beat them 5-0. Impressive, like so many things he would just do that, like he just like the ball be coming, he just take a pause, and that just and that pause opens up a space to play a forward pass and just things like that. I'm just like incredible. But then again, you do something stupid where like he wouldn't like someone said he's the most non-press resistant player ever. Like it's so easy to like press him, but at the same time he knows how to. I don't know. Partey is a very confusing player. Part of me just also thinks that his head is not also really like it's just not really good. So it would be nice to bring in someone who can, and then defensive cover as well too. I would say but again I don't know. To me now I've gotten to a point where like as much as I live for like the transfer talk and everything. It's come to a point where now, like, I really don't know, like, it's just like whatever they think is cool, go for it. Like, I can't, like, micromanage to the point, like, you can't really micromanage a team that's gotten, like, more or less 90 points, Now it's just a case of where, like, if you think that's best, cool. Yeah. If you think that's going to get 95 points, go for it, like, So, hopefully whatever they do, does give us a higher point tally than next season, than last season, so. I guess we'll have to see,
So for Liverpool, we'll go through the
thing,
For Liverpool, I feel like with them, obviously, because they've lost Klopp,
Yeah.
We don't really know what we're gonna see from Liverpool, so it's kind of
yeah.
hard to guess what they're gonna go for in the window.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a bold Dutch manager come to the Prem and take
Eras come to an end.
absolute trash from the Eredivisie.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Slot did that again.
But let's be real, it's always a gamble though.
Some players are quite good from there though. Like I would just, if for them, I would suggest, especially because they need, like, in my opinion, a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Like they get excited about Endo.
Yeah.
I've never really rated this person.
There's one guy.
It's Rayford.
There's a
defensive midfielder.
yeah from five. Was it from five?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one that, like, if there's a player I think they should sign, it's got to be him. Because I don't think he'll be ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
23, 24, like that profile, that position. He was like the center of Arne's slot system as well. I think that should be, especially because with Trent as well.
Yeah.
He'll combine with Trent and there's passing opportunities there.
Yeah.
For me, if there's one signing anyway, that's the one.
He's gonna bring a couple of his guys from Finland, mate.
Man. I don't know if you should bring a couple, maybe just him.
They always do that though. That's the thing. They're gonna.
It's like Harry Redknapp, innit?
Yeah, we just need to see. The thing is though, with Liverpool and like FSG, and I think now they've brought back Michael Edwards. So there's more structure in terms of their recruitment. So you won't.
Yeah, they won't just like say like, oh yeah, just
Yeah, you won't get a situation.
They're not even give them the key.
Yeah, with
United.
United.
Yeah, the new manager.
Yeah, because you won't get a situation with United and like Ten Hag coming in.
Like
Obviously, you have Richard Arnold and Murtaugh. Like they don't really scout the players. They just go to Ten Hag. What do you want? Yeah. I think Liverpool have more structure in them, so you would expect them to not do the same mistakes as United did, where you go into Eredivisie and you fish out players that the manager likes.
Yeah.
Eredivisie, no disrespect to the Dutch league, but
it doesn't translate well.
There's levels. How many players have come from that league and actually been a success in the Prem? I think Kudus.
I mean, in general, the league is just like pretty.
It's just a lower. It's just like lower, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not like the same quality. So the adaptation is longer.
I'm actually trying to think. Even like Gakpo came from that league.
Even him, man, he's not set the world. Like I like him.
I like Gakpo.
He's not set the world alight.
Yeah, but it's not like not a ward, you know.
Nah, he's not. I think because they signed him thinking he's going to be the Firmino replacement.
Yeah, pretty
much.
He's
nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Like even though he's technically nice, he's tidy. He's not Firmino.
Just like definitely not. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of players. Van Persie came from obviously.
Yeah, that was like.
That was kind of. I'm thinking about in the last, like, let's say last 5 years or last 3 years. Who's come from that
Timber
league?
came from that league. And like
Timber
is not a tiny amount.
Oh, Timber is brilliant. Yeah, I'm not. I won't say much because I feel like people haven't really seen enough of Timber.
Nah, he's good. He's very.
But
good.
when I feel like this season coming over,
I think Arsenal fans realize.
We realize.
Because we won. Obviously, we tried to get him. And he didn't want to come Prem at the time.
I think Martinez is pretty good.
Yeah,
Sancho's
he's quality. Pep said that he's top 5 centre backs in the world.
I don't know
if I agree.
I don't know if
But actually, I don't really think
he's a good.
I don't really think he's that good. I don't really think he's that good at centre back.
Nah, I think he's.
Yeah,
I think especially on the ball, I think he's very good, man.
You know what? Like I don't know. It's just it's too much to get into. But like I just feel like I'd probably another position I'd probably have him in.
I feel like it's quality at centre back.
See, I don't know if I'd have him in front of the back.
Or even put
because like left back, I don't think he's great out wide. But
that's
like
fair,
I think, especially I think he's very good at organising.
Yeah.
I think he keeps structure. So just in front of the back four, with like maybe 2 younger centre halves behind, or like 2 more athletic. I think it'll be a lot more structured.
That's fair. Yeah. Dude, like he's a very good passer of the ball. That's one thing I know. Like his
ball progression.
He's pretty. That's
so good.
So like
even so sensitive to the way the team plays.
Yeah, that's even if I was like to use him as a centre back, it just wouldn't be like. Just probably wouldn't be the way it wouldn't be like a traditional.
But we even saw in the final though, like even obviously there was a lot of talk about his height. I don't even want to spend too much time on him because we have other teams to go through in terms of transfers and stuff like that. But the height thing, it don't really mean anything to me because if you're seeing him out jump Haaland, you're seeing him out muscle Haaland.
Yeah, I mean it is. Like,
and we don't really see big centre forwards like that anymore. To be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like in the Brentford game though, like I thought.
Yeah, but that was so early.
He got pretty good.
Very.
And that wasn't even just like with aerial duels. Like he was getting pretty bullied.
The same thing happened to Ben White though against Tony when 3-4 seasons ago. So like I don't know.
But White also isn't the best like 1v1 defender though.
Nah, that's true.
I don't think Martinez is like as good as like the best centre backs in the world. Like 1v1.
I think he's
like
just
1v1
below that.
Like 1v1 as like a defender. Like I'd put Van Dijk and Konate over him. I'd put Gabriel and.
I wouldn't put
Saliba over him.
Konate. I wouldn't put Konate.
As a defender, I'd put Konate.
I
over
wouldn't
him.
put Konate.
I'd definitely put Konate.
I
over
put
as a defender.
definitely
Like 1v1, someone going up against Konate, and I'll fancy my chances with Konate.
If it's
Oh,
out wide,
yeah,
if it's ended like a channel,
yeah.
I'm taking Konate. But just as a defender, in terms of like if it's in and around the box,
Yeah.
I think Lisandro is cleaner than Konate.
Yeah.
is.
Konate is a bit
I think
more
he
messy.
can be a little bit
Konate
clumsy.
is a bit messy, but and
He's
but
quality,
same
don't get me
thing. Same thing. I think Gabriel too. Like, because like
You're
in
a little bit
the
clumsy.
two, like I see the parallels in like I think Konate and Gabriel, and then Saliba and Van Dijk are more.
Yeah, yeah.
But I still think like both of them like 1v1. I think they're.
Mm.
I think they're just better than Martinez 1v1.
But I don't think he's an
But
issue
they're not-
in
yeah.
that sense. Like I think he's still
Yeah.
you can still look at him and say like he's like a successful signing. He's one that like Man United don't need to sort of replace or.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, we'll talk
Fair
about Spurs next.
I think
Who cares about
with Spurs, man. I don't even know what.
No
like,
offense to Spurs.
it's,
but-
I think I feel sorry for Andy, man. I feel sorry for him.
That-
He realised that.
Oh,
surrounded by
it was
losers.
the game against City. You could see he was so disappointed.
Like,
He was
yeah,
like,
He turned around to the crowd. The guy was like, apparently he was heckling all game, like,
Yeah.
throw the game, and he turned around. And he's like,
yeah.
I remember your face,
mate,
mate.
like mate,
What are you
like,
doing here?
like seriously, like imagine coming to a club and you want to completely change the culture.
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
realize that the club's just filled with a bunch of losers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that must stink.
Just be like, hey, this job's bigger than I thought.
That must stink. But what can they do to improve?
I think. I'll
Maybe
be
a
honest,
striker.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think even though his mentality is bottom tier, he's a toxic individual. I think Ivan Toney would drastically improve them going forward.
That one.
Like he definitely would, especially after 1 or 2 seasons.
I feel like they need that though. They need like a Tony. They need an asshole.
Do they though?
No,
But like
they do.
he's disrespectful to the club though, and they're a club that like they disrespect themselves enough already. I don't think they need someone saying, "Oh, I'm bigger than Tottenham. I'm bigger than Spurs."
Yeah, but I feel like they need that sort of presence in their squad.
Tony
Like
would be a pretty good signing.
I think
Yeah.
Tony, for me, Tony and Eze, I think would be 2 great
Ooh,
signings
Eze
because
was-
I don't really
Oh.
rate James Madison that much.
Gosh.
I think James Madison, like
Eze.
someone on Twitter said it. I think it's the best description. Like at the beginning of the season, he's unplayable.
Yeah.
Then he's unavailable for a long period of time.
The
And
best-
then he's unnoticeable.
The best ability is available.
Exactly.
He's
And
not
Eze, I
available.
think Eze is class, man. I think he's a superstar.
I think he's too good for Spurs.
I don't doubt that, which is why I think he's a
Fair Spurs pretty much his level though.
maybe
I
right now.
think he could play for
Like right
City.
now though.
Yeah, I think he could play for City as well. I think
he's
especially, I think
quality.
I think he's a class player.
But yeah, we'll move on from Spurs because who cares?
Losers.
Who cares about Tottenham? We'll go to Chelsea next.
Mm,
They need a striker for sure.
yeah.
They need a striker.
Why do Chelsea need a strike every window?
They buy a crap striker every window. I feel like if
I don't think I've never there's never been you've never gone into a transfer window where Chelsea don't need a striker.
literally since Diego Costa.
Only and them man, it's a mess. Like, what are they
They
doing?
buy a striker and a centre back every window.
Every
Exactly.
single
I
window.
think they have like 7 centre backs.
That's right, yeah.
Even like the wingers as well, they've signed a Stavio, isn't it? From
Oh
Palmeiras.
yeah.
I honestly can't keep track with Chelsea.
And it's
Yeah, I don't know who's.
They're just like stockpiling players. Like
Yeah.
you've got Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
They apparently they want Elise as well.
Yeah.
You've got Estavio. You've got Madueke.
You've got
Yeah.
Mudryk.
You've got Mudryk. You've got Sterling. You've got even with the centre back. You've got Fofana.
Yeah.
You've got Badia
Sassy.
Shield. You've got the Sassy.
You've got Chalobah,
You got.
Colwill,
You even got players on loan like the Fofana Don that's at
Yeah.
Burnley.
Datro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got-
It's
what's
such a
his-
ridiculous
Sar?
surplus.
You got David Washington.
David Washington. Oh my god.
You got so many players. Like, what is going on with them?
Yeah.
See,
It's
I
just a
don't really.
mess.
They spent £300 million on their midfield, and I would say that might be their worst area.
Yeah.
They're terrible in
Yeah.
midfield. They
I
are
mean, they're
actually-
going better without Enzo, which is crazy.
Well, yeah, that's wild. I don't know if it's just that they're not playing. Like for £100 million
Yeah.
players, it sounds mad to say,
Yes.
but they're not playing to his strengths at all.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think they should play probably Caicedo as like a left back that can like invert.
Okay, yeah, like
Enzo, and
he
then
did a
Lavia.
couple times at Brighton, was at right back and he came to
And then I think
Yeah.
you play Enzo and Lavia. So
They've
you
got
have-
Lavia as well.
Lavia,
Lavia's quality.
Lavia's pretty good, yeah. We were trying to see Lavia back, yeah.
There's so much talent there, and it's just.
It's so ridiculous.
Like, what's Palmer's like best position then?
Yeah, I think on the wing.
Yeah, I think off the right, especially when he needs
Yeah.
runners, man, because
Mm.
his passing is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Like he's a creative.
Yeah,
machine.
no, he's passing is pretty good.
One moment.
Series bugging.
Oh.
But yeah, continues.
Still on it.
Yeah, I think they'll probably get rid of Sterling.
Yeah.
They'll probably get rid of Sterling, maybe Mudryk.
Apparently they spent like 190, 100.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
thank God we didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, you never know though. Like, you never know how.
You do, but he's just so raw.
Never would have 20 years, bro.
He's so raw. Like I feel kind of bad for him because he's definitely skipped like 2 or 3 steps in his development.
For sure.
I feel like
For
if it was like
For
6,
sure.
7 years ago,
For
he would have
sure,
gone
yeah.
from Shakhtar to like
Yeah.
a mid-European side. It's
Yeah.
like in the Champions League, but not.
Well,
a
no,
big
like yeah, then
like
from then
big
like you know
Porto
progress.
or
Yeah,
Ajax.
because like yeah, he is pretty raw. Like he's very quick and
Mm.
like he's I don't know, like he's
Missing a lot of the fundamentals.
Definitely.
yes, yeah.
That's
Like
the
he's
issue.
he's just not convincing at all. Like in front of goal at all. Like at all. Like he's
Mhm.
just I don't know. Like and it's not like he has pretty bad like ball striking. He just
No.
doesn't know the right. I don't know. Like
Is it experience though? Because I think he's
I
only
mean,
played like,
it is experience.
he's
It
only
is
played like
experience,
50 games in his career.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing with it's just bad scouting as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, like football, like a lot of football is like a psychological, like you
Yeah.
know, there's a lot of like psychological.
It's definitely the location as well. Because
Yeah.
like, everyone at Chelsea is playing bad.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
that's true,
in
yeah.
that environment, you
Yeah,
are going
you're
to
going
play
to, yeah.
crap.
There's so many distractions
Yeah.
as well. in
Literally.
Chelsea, like,
Yeah, I mean, like Havertz is kind of like a good example of that, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Even though he did start the season like a bit off, but I guess like towards the end he did, you know, and like just because the environment is pretty good as well.
Definitely.
So we think they need a striker definitely and a.
They like Jackson
I
actually.
think they need a left back.
Yeah,
What do you guys think of Jackson?
Chilwell is. I think
He's-
Jackson
yeah.
is. He just needs time. I think he's a good footballer.
Yeah, I like Jackson.
But
Like he
he
does.
doesn't-
There's a lot to like about him.
Yeah.
But he does a lot to not
Yeah,
like
like,
about him.
he's good, but he's
Oh.
a donkey at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like I look at him and I'm like, okay, the runs that he makes are quite good.
Yeah.
He's physical enough. Like he's not stupid. Like his football IQ is quite good.
Yeah.
I think there's too much going on in the
He's in the
centre.
right
Yeah,
areas.
yeah, yeah.
But then it comes to the finish and he'll hit the side net.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah, he's finishing.
I don't know, man. He reminds me a lot. Him and
Yeah.
Nunes for me are quite
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like, but there's also a lot not to like.
I think they need a left back because the Chilwell is just not it.
Nah,
Yeah, yeah.
Neither is Cucurella. I don't think Cucurella's good enough.
Yeah, true.
Maybe
probably.
even a right back because.
Nah, I think
Oh no,
Right,
Gusto's
right.
good.
Gusto's
I think
good.
Oh
Gusto's
no,
good.
I forgot. Gusto's probably.
Yeah, but Reece James.
I think it's
I don't
Reece
know.
James.
Reece James and Gusto is a good right back
Yeah,
combination for sure.
It's basically just Gusto. Gusto's the starting right back, man. Because Reece James, he just
Reece
goes
James
for
never
it.
available.
He's a
yeah.
mascot at this point.
It's good. And then United, I'd say we need a centre back 100%. Lenny Euros, in my opinion, would be the number one target.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're gonna go that route because obviously he's been linked to Real Madrid. And when we know when Real Madrid want a player, they get that player. But obviously they're spending a lot of money, so they might not have the money to spend it on Lenny Euro. So I think if Lenny Euro is available, go for him. Then I feel like we need. It's between the I feel like we need a striker to challenge Højlund and a right winger as well.
Not defensive midfielder. I feel like defensive
I
midfielder.
need a
is
defensive
important.
Yeah. Oh, it's a mess.
Yeah,
too.
See, United are also kind of like
Yeah, but
them
them three signings.
like every window, United need the same positions. Every
It's
single
always
season.
it's always
right
defensive
wing,
midfielder.
right wing, DM.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, yeah.
It's true.
Every single
No,
season.
but if they make them
Yeah,
signings
yeah.
right,
That's
I think
it,
they
yeah.
could be. Like if Man United brought in
Yeah.
Elise,
Yeah.
like Euro, and then maybe like a Palhinha
Yeah.
from Fulham or like, as like a short term.
The thing is,
I think that's
they
a-
signed.
I think
They
that's-
signed.
we have
They
to get a
signed.
young
Yeah.
CDM, but
They
we
signed.
can't
The thing
have-
about United is that they sign players who just like set them back. Like,
Yeah.
so it now just gets into a cycle where like and like cool. Like I remember speaking a lot about the Casemiro
Casemiro.
signing, and you know, like with the Casemiro signing, like cool, he had a very good first season, which honestly I didn't really see that coming. I thought from the get go he wouldn't really be that good, but fair enough, he had a good first season, but he just fell off a cliff,
Yeah.
and it's just like. In a way, it's kind of like it's one of those things where like it's not even like he was coming from Real Madrid. It's not like he's a bad player or anything. But firstly, he has reached the highest level of football that he has he's ever really going to reach. He won 3 Champions Leagues back to back in that team where like so. Firstly, like you think like what is he really like playing? What is he really like fighting for per se? And that it just gives like that motivation. I think is just not there and. Just in general, it's just also like his age, the money you paid for him, the timing, everything. It just wasn't really a smart signing, I would say. Yeah, like
It wasn't a smart signing to be your first choice. I don't think.
Yes.
If he came in as a rotational piece,
yeah,
I
but for
don't
that
think-
price, though, it couldn't be-
for that price from
it
Real
couldn't
Madrid,
be
there was no way
rotation.
he was signing.
I think like
That's true.
United were initially
If
linked
it was
to
like
I think
We wanted De
De Jong.
Jong, but that's who
Yeah.
Ten Hag wanted. But when he's not a CDM, he's not really a CDM.
That's why I never understood the
But Ten Hag don't.
because they're so different.
When Ten Hag don't really like. If you look at his Ajax team, the one that was
Yeah.
successful in the Champions League, he
Yeah.
didn't really have a traditional CDM. He
Yeah,
has,
yeah,
he has one that he drops in deep, picks up the ball
Yeah.
from the centre backs, and then
Yeah.
progresses the ball. So the style of play to begin with, Ten Hag wanted De Jong. He didn't get De Jong. He had to got Casemiro. Yeah. So going forward, I don't know. CDM is Kobe Mainoo. I don't think he's a CDM long term. Like he's there's too much about him.
It wastes his talent. Like
he's a very.
He's
I
so
think
complete.
he's a
He's
good
so
CDM, but he's so much more than a
that.
CDM.
Yeah.
And he's too good attacking, and he has to be an 8 man.
He has to be box to box. Yeah.
Agreed.
Like he's his
I
attacking.
just need someone to compliment. I'll go with Onana from Everton.
Yeah, I think especially because Everton, I think, are obviously on financial. And supposedly, Sean Dyche wants to offload Onana. He doesn't like suit him. Well.
Yeah.
I think if you can get it for 30-40 million, you have to do it, man.
Yeah, Onana will be a good one in there. Then I'd probably like chuck Casemiro off to like Saudi.
Yeah, I think we will do that.
Casemiro probably go right.
Varane is confirmed.
Varane's on his contract right now, didn't he? Varane's contract right now.
I think so.
Yeah. We'll see. He's going on a free, and then right wing. Been linked to Elise. I think that deal will happen personally. But I feel like we have a bit of depth on the right wing spot because we have Elise, we have Ahmad. I think Anthony's gonna go.
I think that'd be for the best.
I think we're gonna take.
I saw rumors that he would leak. That he leaked the team before the cup final.
And but apparently it's a fake leak.
Okay. Even
how much? How much? How much you Anthony for? Like what?
I'll take about 30.
30.
That's a bad loss.
I know, but I don't know.
I think it gets lower and lower.
I don't know if anyone's paying 30.
No,
I wouldn't pay 30.
People pay 30. People
would they?
Don't pay 30.
I wouldn't pay 30.
He could go Italy. Send him over to
You can go Italy,
yeah.
Send him over to like an AC Milan. They always take our leftovers or Inter.
Yeah, I don't know what AC Milan been doing recently.
Let him go there. But Anthony, I feel like if Ten Hag goes, Anthony definitely goes because what manager's going to want Anthony. He's not going to play.
I mean, Ahmad should have been. I remember I was wondering, I was so confused why Ahmad wasn't starting over.
Was he injured for him?
He was injured.
He was, but then he got fit and then he just was one of the best.
I think it's just,
he played against Arsenal, I remember, and then got injured. And like when he came off, I was like, do you know what?
Like after the Liverpool FA Cup game, he was fit. Like
but I think he's trying to phase Ahmad in. He's trying to phase him in. He's very good. He can play. I think he can play in the middle as well if he wanted to, as a attacking midfielder. But off the right, it's his centre of gravity as well. Where he controls the ball, his passing as well, like slows the game down, little 1-2s as well. Yeah, so I think he's one for the future as well. We have a lot of
left wing. What do you think about your left wing options?
Left wing. I think we've got Rashford and Garnacho, so I don't think we need to. Personally, I don't think we need to buy another left wing.
You think Rashford is gonna stay?
Yeah, I think he's definitely staying. I don't think it's going
I don't see any like landing spots for him because like
maybe PSG.
But like
I think the thing is I think PSG with they're not getting money for Mbappe, but with the money they're gonna save, they're just gonna spread it out on
I mean, they need a left winger for sure. So it's like depending on who they go for now.
I think they're gonna go for Osman. Osman's gonna be their big marquee signing. I think Osman will go PSG, and then they'll spread the money out elsewhere. But I don't think they have enough money to get a Rashford. So I think Rashford minimum. I think it's like 150 more.
Oof.
I think that's how much United will accept 100 because of the 50.
That's like in terms of like what he like. I don't think he's worth 150, but I think
he's
that's
not
what,
worth
I think that's what United.
He's the face of the franchise, and it's just signed
for Rashford though. Just that superstar. Like I don't think you can.
I think.
I would. I think it's that X factor you can't because like Rashford, like Saka's a player where like Saka will have a great game, but he won't just like in the blink of an eye set the game like that. Rashford will have a stinker, and then in the blink of an eye he'll just
even in the final, like even that switch to Garnacho, literally crazy.
Saka needs to be like comfortable in a game, like
literally.
He needs to like ease in and needs to be like you won't really like like rarely do I see Saka just like pop up like at a but like Rashford is
it's like X factor, man.
Remember that Emirates game 2 seasons ago, I think the one where he. Like, the game was just a simple game. I think we're even dominating for a period of time. Rashford picks up the ball.
What is it in the white kit?
Makes party.
3-2.
Bang! Poof! Straight.
Yeah.
Like, you done the same this year as well.
Yeah.
This year we were like...
Yeah. We were dominating the game. They had one counter. Got him. Once he got him on that left side, and he cut in. I said, let's go. Yeah. City game this season. Ball drop, block up, volley, top ends off the cross. Like, stuff like that. Like, shit like that. Like, Even just for his ball striking
can't
alone,
replicate
he is just absolutely ridiculous.
When he's in the right environment and in the right state of mind, he's on.
And that's what I think.
The way he
especially
hits the ball, is
especially
just
where
so,
Arsenal is right now,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that is the right sort
Yeah,
of.
it's probably the right environment for him, but
I
we
think-
would never.
We don't have any player who's as good a ball striker as
Nowhere
as-
near.
yeah. We don't have a player that's actually even an elite ball striker,
Anywhere
yeah.
near as electric as him, I will.
Yeah.
Because like Martinelli's quick, yeah, but
Yeah.
Martinelli's not as like electric. As
Yeah,
him.
as Rashford, yeah.
Like perfect example, like Trossard is another one.
Yeah.
Where like against Man City, we're at the Etihad. Trossard got the ball. It was like what 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
And like if it's Rashford, like Trossard tried to cut back and like
Yeah, try to.
if it's Rashford, he's hitting the byline and smashing it.
Yeah.
Like and we're walking away with a 1-0 victory.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference, man. And
Margins,
you can't buy that.
Well, I hate to break it to you guys, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, man.
You'll never
I
sell
think
a
we missed-
franchise player to
We missed
you
the goal.
guys.
I think it was like 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Like, he was available, but we just weren't in the right space to like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
And I think he loves United too much.
Yeah,
to go
to
to
go to Arsenal.
I think if he leaves, he's
I
gonna
don't
leave
think
the
he'll go
country.
anywhere. Yeah, I don't think he'll go anywhere.
He goes to Bayern
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
like
he won't go
PSG,
Chelsea. He won't go
Or like
see.
He goes to a top club. He's probably PSG or Bayern, really.
Yeah.
He would be
Genuinely,
good at
because
Bayern.
like he's not going to go like Real Madrid or
But
Barcelona.
Bayern don't have the money for him.
No, unless
Who
they sell
does
it,
have
like-
the money for
Who
him?
cares?
It's only English clubs, really.
Yeah,
Like,
and
and PSG. Like,
And like the only English club he could probably go to. Even then, I don't know, because like United, like there's just like I don't know, no club is like he wouldn't go Chelsea. I don't
Nah,
know.
I don't think
He
so.
wouldn't go City obviously.
Nah.
Yeah, like Spurs really.
Yeah, like he's not good. Like Spurs is a downgrade, you know.
Yeah.
Like no matter like even if Spurs are like even if Spurs are doing better than United, like just going to Spurs is just a downgrade.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I remember Bruno. I think it was the Bruno article that he put out. Where he said he saw that English club were linked to him, and he saw Spurs. He said he was so sad initially.
Yeah.
Oh, when I saw that, I was dying.
It's like the Di Maria question.
Yeah, when it's
It's
like,
like it's sad
you
here.
think you think you're doing well, you think you're playing well, but you hear you're linked to Spurs.
I don't know how you can just be consistently losers, man. And you get linked to Spurs is ridiculous.
Oh man, that was so.
Bro, honestly,
weird.
like if I'm playing in another league and like I hear like English club, like Premier League club, they're like after me, and like,
Yeah.
I'm like Spurs. I'm
They
like
probably say top English.
Tom,
clubs,
yeah,
like,
what's up English club? Spurs. Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll stick out.
Yes.
The fact that this guy said he was in tears when he found out he was going United, it shows how bad he didn't want to go Spurs. 'Cause I remember when that deal was happening, they said that Spurs agreed to deal.
Yes, it was very
I
close, yeah.
fuming. I was like, no way he's going Spurs. No. And then they signed the Soso instead, isn't it? I think when he came back, they got the Soso. I think the fact that he didn't want to go Spurs that bad when he found out he was signing for
Yeah,
us,
nobody ever wants to go Spurs, man. Nobody ever wants to go Spurs.
But yeah, that's a good note to end on. Like,
Yeah.
we ain't talking Thank you guys for watching. If you're a Spurs fan, I apologize. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.